All right, guys, welcome back to lesson reactions.
My favorite thing about Morgan is how she focuses on mechanics.
My favorite thing about Morgan is how she teaches us how to field properly.
Let's see how long
My favorite
this
thing about
goes
Morgan
on.
is that she's really nice.
My favorite thing about Morgan is how she knows how to correct us and tells us.
My favorite thing about Morgan is when she teaches us how to do our footwork.
My favorite thing about Morgan is when she pushes us to be our best.
My favorite thing about Morgan is everything.
My favorite thing about Morgan is her attitude.
My favorite thing about Morgan is the details she gives in when she's explaining her drills.
Let's go.
Awesome. Well, that was nice.
Patience. We're gonna go.
As a reminder, these lesson reactions are
Here you go.
some raw footage of what we saw at lessons.
Okay, so
A lot of this footage has been
try not
clipped
to
up
catch and
for social
push.
media.
Catch, turn. Okay. Catch, turn. Yes. Separate middle.
Had a dad at lessons say that this is more low-key, kind of like coffee chat, coffee talk. Shout out to PJ's dad. If you're watching lesson reaction number 6 right now,
That's been like
how's it going?
We're going back to go forward, and I don't like that. Okay, we're wasting a step. Instead, you see the ball right here, step up and get it. Unless it's hard hit. If it's hard hit, we can turn and go. Okay. But if we're going boom, 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 it's like cha-cha, wasting time, right? Go, come get it.
Yeah, I remember some of these lessons. Obviously, this is a little bit ago because we're wearing sweats and sweatshirt pants in lessons. And one challenge that we have training inside is that the distance and the actual space that we have, we're in our lessons, we're in a rectangle, and that is not the actual space that we're in the infield is not a rectangle. So one issue that we were having in this lesson was like using false steps in order to create an angle for ourselves instead of creating the angle moving forward. Just kind of different things that I see that it reminds me that we can do so much in lessons, just isolating the actual mechanic. But this is why, like, if kids want to get exponentially better, I say use what you learn in lessons and take it to the field. And let me know how you do in games. Let me know how you do in those practices on the field, because maybe there's other issues that are coming up that we're not addressing in lessons with that isolated, with our isolated fixes and drills that we can do.
Just and then toss it back. So stick it or hold it once you catch it. Yep. We're gonna go quick.
So like majority of the people that we see in lessons, we can fix or we see a lot in our lesson space. So I would say like for the young kids, that's like 95% of the issues that are going on in their defense we can see in these indoor lessons. And the other 5% is like you can't really simulate in a lesson because it's game time pressure or it's, again, the distance of the throw. And in younger kids, it doesn't really matter as much. But as they get older and older, this is why I love that they have the opportunity to do different types of lessons, especially in Southern California, out on a field. I don't go out to fields often. Sometimes I'll go out to a team. Very rarely I'll work with individuals at a field. Sometimes I'll do our clinics outside, which is cool. Because as they get to probably age 14 plus, the angles that they take, the distance that they're throwing, their vision of the field matters more. It's a greater percentage. So whereas 13 and under, and that depends on I guess how advanced they are when they're 13. Are they playing travel ball? Are they anticipating to be on varsity as a freshman? Like maybe that age drops to maybe 11 and under or 12 and under based on how advanced they are. But my point being, the younger kids do 95% of their corrections inside in this setting. My advice for those kids that are advanced 12-year-olds, advanced 13-year-olds, and 14 plus is still do these lessons or still isolate your mechanics. You can work on your fundamentals when you're not in a field. You can work on your fundamentals anywhere. You can work on them in your bedroom, in your garage, in your backyard. But the difference maker is the experience you have at the position that you're trying to master.
Bigger cups and the fries. I'm on your side.
This is our 8:30 Thursday night class, I believe. And so you see a lot of mixed ages here. Normally our 8:30 class Monday through Wednesday is a high school class. 8:30 on Thursday, I believe, is like 12 to 14 and under. So you've got some kids that are in college because they're 14U, not in college, in high school because they're 14U, and then others that are 12 and under. So very, very different levels, but
Go. Throw it. Okay. Go. Yeah. Got it. Go.
I think we're filming a really specific video here.
There you go. There we go.
I remember we were filming like a video of these Japanese, we were trying to mimic a video of these Japanese infielders, these little kids. I love watching trainers, infielders, players from Japan do their fundamentals because they are so good at the movements, staying low, putting in like a massive amount of hours. If you've ever had a conversation with a professional player that's gone over to play in Japan or heard about the softball leagues in Japan, it's on a completely different level, and they're structured very different than in the U.S. In the U.S., even though softball is so big and it's very popular and there's a whole infrastructure for youth softball, after college, it's been a little bit of a struggle to get the pro league going. There's a lot of hope in what the professional league can be, especially with AU softball and that being such a hit and kind of like the fantasy league of softball. They're going into a more traditional style. But yeah, the Japanese leagues have been just awesome, and they're really fun to watch, especially in like what they post on social media, how they post, or how they, not even how they post, but just what they do in their workouts. They're out there for hours. In terms of thinking somebody's going to watch this and just go, oh, okay, so my kid should be out there for hours practicing. How this applies to you guys, yeah, majority of people are in the U.S. playing travel ball or rec ball, and majority of people that are watching this are probably parents that are like, what kind of insight can I get from Morgan today? Reason why I love watching the Japanese players is they focus on fundamentals, like to no end. So I don't think that youth players need to be out there for hours a day, but we should never stop trying to have really good quality fundamental reps. Because ultimately, the best of the best are those players that can stick the ball in one spot in their glove. And even watching like this video over and over again, when you watch the ball enter their glove, which is like what I'm watching a lot of the time, the ball is rattling around. And in the young kids, obviously, it's very blatant and obvious. Like, ball hits off the end, ball goes underneath, ball's hitting the pinky, the thumb. But even like this level, watch the ball as it goes in their glove. Like, what part of the glove is it hitting first?
Four, you got this. Four.
Like, the most basic part of defense
Five, nice throw.
is being able to secure the ball.
You got it right here. Six, nice throw. Seven, nice read. Eight, you got it right here. Nine.
Yeah, so we're playing 21 outs here.
I got a bracelet.
And I guess they got 21 outs because they all got a bracelet. But yeah, securing the ball. Obviously, I can just talk about how important fundamentals are, even again to no end, but
Good. Ball sits, relax.
securing the ball is so, so important. And you will see kind of the difference here. I like using baseballs with all levels, but specifically for securing the ball, the baseball is a smaller surface area. So for me, I can feel it in my glove in one spot better than like the softball, which is a bigger surface area to hit.
There we go.
Makes it a little bit tougher when it's a baseball to get it right in one spot in the glove. But yeah, I guess the most basic, securing the ball, hitting one spot in your glove. If you can do that over and over, then we're moving on to our throw. These two things, securing the ball and the throw, kids think it's like the easiest part, and playing catch is so, so boring sometimes. But none of them are good at it, so it's funny to me.
You know what I mean?
Because with our throw, the throw is the most controllable part of the game. Like securing the ball, probably the most important. The throw, the most controllable, and arguably the most important on defense.
Make sure we're timing it up and fielding it under that left eye.
Why is it the most controllable? Because you've already caught it. Doesn't matter how hard it was. Doesn't matter where you are on the field. You already have the ball. Anything that happens after you have the ball is completely up to you. So as a softball player, we should know, we should be able to pinpoint where this throw is going. And if you can't do that, we've got a lot of work to do. That's where a lot of these kids are. Is like, we know the basics, we know kind of our motion. We're working on body awareness to be able to make adjustments. We're working on being able to control and have more power in our throw.
So move your feet a little bit and catch it on this left side. Right by your left foot. Better.
We talk about this a lot in lessons, catching underneath our left eye. You might see me do this a lot if you're a parent watching lessons. Left eye, left eye, left eye. That's really a cue so that we're creating an angle. And we work from like the shortstop side a lot, but in reality, in the infield, like first base is always on the left of everybody. So to get the ball on the left, underneath our left eye is kind of an exaggeration, because if we are getting that ball on the left side or moving towards our target, it's going to be easier for us to separate middle for our throw. A lot of kids will field the ball either outside of their right hip or even underneath their right eye. It's a little bit controversial because underneath our right eye, you would assume, okay, that's going to be a faster transfer because it's closer to my right side. But there's a fine line. So if we're fielding it and separating back here, a lot of kids will flip up and have kind of a pushy throw. So after years of training, like my favorite way to cue this is to make contact underneath our left eye, separate middle, instead of when I play travel ball with Marty Tyson, his biggest thing was to feel it under your right eye for the quicker transfer. And then I guess I just find that as I've trained, that leads to more bad throws in the younger kids. But as they get a little bit more advanced, I don't mind introducing that concept and seeing if it works better. Again, I don't think there's any way that is absolutely 100% right for every single person alive.
Left side.
Um,
Your feet. Keep going.
my favorite thing is to
Keep going. Keep going. Keep going.
introduce concepts, see what works best for people.
I feel like they've lost the rhythm, and it's just boom, 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 not like smooth moving through it. Do you see that at all? Yeah, they focus on one thing for too long. Yeah. Like it's just right, left, down. I guess moving through it. They've forgotten to move through it. Which is interesting because of this. But they've been doing that.
Super helpful to have Amanda in lessons, have another set of eyes, not just eyes, but just bounce ideas off of.
Good.
Wait, so I come like that?
Yeah, instead of right now you're just staying here and you're throwing like this. I want you to get your elbows up and reach.
Same with any coach that's in here.
Reach.
All of us have different experience and different training backgrounds. So like
You're reaching towards where you're throwing.
Amanda went to the Olympics. She's had to stay in shape, figure out efficient ways to throw the fastest runners in the world out. So she's going to have kind of a different perspective. I stopped playing after college competitively. I did play for Team Philippines. We were playing against Team USA, so arguably,
And really pull down,
and Team Japan. So arguably, you can say I had to be
What's an influencer?
pretty good to do that. But in terms of perspective, got a wide range of perspective that can help.
Dad watches your videos.
Your dad?
Yeah, he does them on our
Oh
TV.
gosh.
And he shows me. He shows me. I'm on YouTube, guys. Yeah, I'm on.
Okay, so we should keep doing these videos then, right?
Guess we should keep doing these videos.